Have you ever felt like you're the only person in the room who actually sees what's happening? While everyone else is busy talking, you're noticing the small habits, the hidden patterns, and the tiny details that others completely miss. You aren't just quiet, you are a quiet observer, and your brain is decoding the world like it's a puzzle while everyone else is just looking at the picture. Most people think being smart means being the loudest person in the room or solving math problems in a second, but real intelligence is often much deeper and quieter than that. If you've ever been told you're absent-minded because you were staring into space, it's usually because your mind hasn't left the room, it's just exploring connections that others don't even know exist. Your brain treats thinking almost like entertainment, and you'd often rather sit with a complex thought than join in on shallow small talk. This way of living starts with a rare habit called cognitive patience. Most people hate not having an answer. They feel a sense of panic when things are uncertain, so they rush to the first shallow explanation they can find just to feel safe. But as a quiet observer, you are different. You can let a hard question hang in your mind for days or even weeks, turning it over and over like a heavy weight until you find the most complete truth. You aren't being indecisive. You're building a solid foundation of understanding that isn't controlled by short-term fear. Because you see so much, your mind often goes into mental simulation mode. You might find yourself addicted to imagining fake scenarios, where you replay an old conversation or imagine a future one where you say exactly the right thing. To an outsider, you're just daydreaming, but internally, your brain is running 14 different social outcomes to prepare you for the real world. You use your imagination as a rehearsal space, trying to gain control over a world that often feels unpredictable and messy. But there is a heavy cost to seeing what others miss, and it's called emotional overfunctioning. Because you can sense a shift in someone's tone or notice an inconsistency in their story, you often end up carrying the responsibility for the whole relationship. You are the one who over-explains so no one is misunderstood, the one who gives 10th chances, and the one who stays tired because you're managing everyone else's emotions instead of your own. Eventually, you don't get angry, you just get exhausted. When this exhaustion hits, you might start to step back from people. This isn't about being cold or cutting people off for revenge. It's about nervous system relief. You realize that you don't need a huge social circle. You need emotional safety. You move from automatic relationships where you're just performing a role to intentional ones where you can actually be yourself without carrying everyone else's weight. The greatest skill of the quiet observer is the ability to turn emotions into data. When you feel angry or sad, you don't just react. You stop and decode it. You ask yourself, why am I feeling this? Is it really about this person, or am I just stressed from something else? This is called emotional differentiation, and it allows you to stay calm and mature while everyone else is being swept away by their instincts. There is a dangerous trap that many quiet observers fall into, the provisional life. Because your internal world is so rich and your simulations are so perfect, you might start living like a spectator in your own life. You tell yourself that your current job or your current mess is just temporary while you wait for your real genius life to begin. You keep your dreams as perfect ideas in your head because as long as you never test them in reality, they can never fail. You might look down on ordinary people who are stuck in the daily grind, but the truth is you're often using your potential as a shield to avoid the risk of being ordinary. Real growth doesn't happen in your imagination. It happens in reality, which has harsh rules, bills, and rejection. Your value isn't found in what you could do, but in what you actually persist in doing. The insight is this: your ability to observe is a superpower, but only if you use it to act, not to hide. Stop being a warehouse for useless knowledge and start applying your deep thinking to the small, boring things. Cleaning your room, paying your bills, and finishing that resume are the structures that allow your big ideas to finally become real. A person's character isn't formed when they're winning in their head. It's built when they fall down in the real world and have the courage to get back up. If you've been watching from the sidelines for too long, it's time to step onto the field. Stop chasing the noise and start embracing the clarity of a life lived on purpose. If this spoke to you, hit the like button and subscribe to keep decoding the hidden corners of your mind. Don't just see the world, be the one who changes it. Thanks for watching.